Hello, it's Rita and Henry,
Hey guys.
and it's a Dis Nerds Live. Good evening, everyone. Whew, my hair was a little messy there.
Well, whenever you have such wonderful technology we're having there, we apologize. We are running late today, and we apologize for that. But technology is what it is.
Yeah, so we'll give a few minutes for people to catch on that we are actually not posting from our original post, and I don't know if you want to get on Facebook and go ahead and share this out, Henry.
Yeah, I've already shared out the other one 100 times. So
yeah, so we might want to share this one out again. We apologize. Say hi as you come on. We just got back from Disney World.
Is that where we were?
That is where we were.
I thought we were at our house.
And I actually just got finished planning a Disneyland trip for a client, and I kind of was getting a little jealous. Yeah, a little jealous. They were talking about watching Fantasmic on the Rivers of America, and I was like, oh man. I was like, I want to go back to Disneyland, which we have the opportunity to go back. We just don't know if it's going to happen. So we'll wait and see. Anyway, so we are back here tonight after being gone for a couple of Sundays. We were on our way to Walt Disney World last Sunday, and then the Sunday before that, I think we just had a conflict.
Yeah, that does happen. We are not full-time vloggers.
No.
So we are just a couple of Dis Nerds that get together and talk about everything that we know.
Yes.
So here, let me pull it to you.
So yeah. So make sure as you're coming on, you give us a shout out. Make sure that you share too.
Because we're going to talk about the fun stuff tonight of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Yes, and there's a lot to talk about.
I have notes. I have notes this week. Oh my word!
I told Henry. I said I don't need notes.
Yeah. Where can you buy holocrons at?
Tell me what a holocron is first, and then is that the wait? Is the holocron the thing that goes inside the lightsaber?
No, that's not a holocron.
No, a holocron. I know what that is.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
A holocron is the little figures that they had in Star Wars Rebels.
The cubes.
The cubes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what it has in it?
The Force.
No. It has all of your data, all your history, all your knowledge.
Oh, okay.
It's your virtual backup of everything you need to know.
So the holocron that they had in Star Wars Rebels, who did that belong to? Because Darth Vader wanted it really bad.
I don't remember who it did.
Does anybody know?
I don't remember. I didn't catch all of Rebels. I was slacker on some of that. We watched the first season and I missed after that.
Anyway. So we are going to talk about the big announcement, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and its opening. It's opening coast to coast, and we want to know if you are excited about it. We are definitely excited about it. So excited about it that I immediately booked a room.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
And then asked me if I could go.
Yes. I immediately booked a room and then said, hey, can you go? But if Henry can't go, I've got people who can go.
Many of you, I'm sure, will chime in and say that you will happily go down with her.
Well, unfortunately, I did not get a room at Pop Century, which is where I would normally stay.
That's true.
And I had to go with a resort that I don't normally stay at. But
that's okay.
That's okay. I got a room. So one of us, both of us, are going to be down there Labor Day weekend at Walt Disney World because Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opens up on August 29th. They're calling it kind of a soft opening, basically due to the fact that there was so much popularity and, obviously there's popularity, but anticipation that I guess Disney was somewhat ahead of schedule. And they decided to open this new land. This new land is a huge addition. It's 14 acres over in Hollywood Studios. And it's also opening in Disneyland. Did I mess up? Did I say Disneyland a second ago? Anyway, it opens up in Disneyland May 30th.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
I don't have that date memorized. Hey, Tracy! And so it's having its sort of soft opening through June 23rd. And there's a lot of details that you kind of need to know about that opening. But before we get into the opening, we can talk a little bit about the land. And normally we start off our show with the news. But guys, this is the news.
This is the news. This whole episode will be about the news.
Yeah, this is the news. And everybody is super excited and anticipating this. And, I mean, again, we are just beyond excited. I've been listening to podcasts, reading articles. May 31st. Thank you, Tracy. I said May 30th. But we really... I've been kind of preparing and thinking about this. I can't wait to talk about this article I read today from, I believe it was Attractions Magazine or Inside the Magic. I can't remember which one it was. But I was reading about how we're all anticipating incredibly large crowds.
Yes, we're anticipating like an 11 out of 10.
Disney is anticipating incredibly large crowds. But I read this really interesting article about how it may not be as crowded as it seems.
All right, so, okay, I'm intrigued. Because, like, the only reason I can think it will not be as crowded as it seems is if everyone's scared off and doesn't go there immediately, which sounds crazy to me.
Well, it all has to do with the way that the whole edition is set up and all the different walkways and things that they'll have there.
Okay.
And so first of all, if you compare this, and again, all this information comes from not my own source, my own, it's just me out there reading articles. But if you compare, like, Pandora, the World of Avatar, Toy Story Land, and what those editions look like, which were great editions, and large editions at that, this edition is twice as large as...
That's what I was about to ask.
Yeah.
What's the size of, so...
Yeah, and so there's technically only 2 attractions that are being added in with this expansion into Hollywood Studios, Smuggler's Run and Rise of the Resistance, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But there's all kinds of interactivity like we've never seen before, or maybe we've seen somewhat of in Pandora.
So,
Pandora's 12 acres, yeah.
Yeah, it's 12 acres. Galaxy's Edge only 14.
Yes, but there's a lot
2
more
more acres.
But if you look at the overhead of where all the walkways and things are going to be, there's a lot more.
Yes.
There's a lot more space and a lot more walkways in the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So what this article I was reading was stating is that it may not seem the flow of the people. I mean, look, guys, it's not like we're still going to be walking shoulder to shoulder while we're in there, but at least in the beginning. But I think I have no doubt that there's been a lot of thought put into the, maybe we could call it the ebb and
flow of it all.
Yeah, of how the guests will walk through.
All right, so we were down at Toy Story Land 2 weeks after it opened?
If that.
Something like that. Within the first 7 to 14 days, we were down there. We weren't there opening weekend. We were the following weekend, I guess. And we were able to walk over to in the evening.
Yes.
And not quite, but virtually walk onto...
50-minute walk on.
No, it wasn't that long for Alien Saucer. It was only about 30-minute walk.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Slinky Dog. My fault.
The Alien Saucer was only like a 20 or 30-minute wait. And then, Slinky Dog was like a 50-minute wait. But 50 minutes for Slinky Dog, those first couple of months, was insanely short.
Well, it was very late at night, too.
But it was late at night. So, with that being said, and that was because everyone was there first thing in the morning. They had to get to Toy Story Land, and they were exhausted, and they left. I don't think that's going to be the case with Star Wars.
No, I do
because
not
there's
either.
so much stuff you can do beyond just going in and riding the rides.
That's true.
You can build your own droid.
Oh, yeah.
You can build your own lightsaber.
Yes.
You can...
Several eateries.
Yes, several drinkeries. Not
Yes.
several, but there's 2 drinkeries that I will partake at.
Okay, so this is what I'm most excited about.
Okay.
Obviously, we could talk about attractions, Smuggler's Run, and again, we do need to come back to that.
We will.
But here's what I'm excited about is, you have kind of this option to sort of live in... Okay, we're going to really go nerd speak on you guys. You have this option of really being able to live the life of the Resistance.
Mm-hmm. Or the First Order.
The First Order. But there's also a middle ground.
You can be a smuggler.
This is where your mercenaries and you're going to have to help me with terminology a little bit here.
That's right. Smugglers.
Boba Fett.
Bounty hunter.
Thank you, bounty hunter. You're going to be able to kind of, there's sort of this middle ground, and it's going to be kind of obvious in the way the land's going to be set up. You're going to be able to see, like, one side is legitimately going to be the Resistance, and one side's going to be the First Order.
Yes.
And so it's going to be this really cool place where you can go interact, and there's actually going to be political talk, Star Wars political talk, that's going to go on with the cast members. I mean, this is really immersive.
Have you looked at the two? There's going to be two clothing outfitters.
Yeah.
And one will be all First Order, and one will be Resistance, and they're on opposite sides of the outpost.
Isn't that cool?
So now, what I'm intrigued with that. All right, so this is potentially the first land that you've ever had, and I don't know how much in the very beginning, but especially once the hotel opens up. The hotel,
we don't know the name of, nor have a date for.
No, we don't.
So.
We just know that they've broke ground. That's what you got so far. But the hotel, you will actually be giving your costuming if you want to.
Right. I don't know if given.
Well, you have the option to
Disney.
purchase. How about that? Depends on how long you stay, you can rent it. I don't know all those details. But if you're given that costuming, so you're now dressed as a First Order officer, and you're walking around Galaxy's Edge, how do you tell the difference between a cast member and a
I don't know.
patron?
I'm sure Disney's going to figure that out.
I'm sure, but that's like this first thing, because when I was looking at the clothing line, some of the concept art with all that, it's amazing cosplay work. I mean, this is stuff, guys, that from what I saw on it, go down there, buy your stuff, go to Comic-Con, and you're already ready to go.
Well, Disney has rules set for what you can wear in the parks, and they may not allow you into the park with that certain costume on.
And I guess we'll have to find that part of it out with it. But that's what I'm intrigued with a lot of, with that one, that particular location. But what I'm most intrigued with is having a fuzzy tauntaun.
You want a fuzzy tauntaun?
Listen, I can have a
so Henry's
fuzzy
already
tauntaun.
talking about the
I can
drinks.
have yub nubs. Come on, I want a yub nub. Or would you like some carbon freeze?
Oh, what is that?
Oh, it looked good. That's all I know is it looked good.
Now, all of this is going to be open on day one, right?
Yes, I have not seen anything. The only thing that they have confirmed so far that will not be open on day one in Disneyland.
And Disney World.
Has that been confirmed also?
Are you talking about...
Resistance?
Yes,
It has been confirmed in both?
Yes. It will, and so that's what I wanted to talk about specifically. And this is what you need to know before you're walking in. I knew when I made my reservation that I was not going to be riding Rise of the Resistance.
Rise of the Resistance would not be available? Okay.
Smuggler's Run will be available, and of course the land will be available. There'll be two entrances at Walt Disney World. One's coming in from Toy Story Land, and then the main entrance is over there next to Muppet Vision 3D.
Yeah.
Which is where Baseline, it's not a bar, Baseline Tap Room or whatever it's called, is over there. And the name of that road that I want to call Streets of America, but it's not, is where the entrance will be.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, we will not have Rise of the Resistance open. They're saying it's going to open later on. So it's kind of like phase 2, which is later in the fall.
Okay.
So I'm thinking probably... I'm only guessing November. It'd be great if it'd be open in October, but who knows?
We'll see. They're saying it is the most detailed attraction that they've ever put together.
Rise of the Resistance?
Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah. I firmly believe that.
Even the queue line, it makes you feel like you're in the middle of the Resistance at that point. So I am super excited to see some of the early footage of that coming out whenever it's actually available for us.
Well, when you see pictures of Imagineers pointing up to an AT-AT.
They have AT-ATs. They had a full-scale TIE fighter.
Full-scale, and
First Order TIE fighters hanging in the bay.
We're talking about some serious detail. And these are all things that you guys have probably read on the internet or you have seen. I'm not really sure. But yeah, this is something else. We're really, really excited.
Something else that I'm really excited with, of course, it's back over in food, is that they're bringing flavored popcorn.
Yes.
over to this side of the country.
Yes.
They have flavored popcorn over in Disneyland, and we're finally going to have flavored popcorn over in Katsuka's Kettle.
I think that's right.
Yeah, it's pretty close to it. That's my good Southern interpretation of it. So you're going to have flavored popcorn now. And I didn't read all the different flavors that they're talking about, but you have some very unique. And all of the food that I've seen so far, all of the drinks that I've seen, all of the concept art of what the places are going to look like, looks very authentic to what you would see in Star Wars.
Yes.
Like, you're not going to see a hamburger.
No. But, I do think we're not going to isolate people either. Disney's not going to isolate your...
No.
There'll still be macaroni and cheese. As I said to Henry...
Macaroni and cheese is good on all worlds.
Yeah.
All planets. Doesn't matter.
So, if you take your kids, they'll still have some macaroni and cheese.
Yes. I mean, there's still going to be... I think the difference is going to be is that while they may have something that's very much like a hamburger, it will have a different name and a different look to it.
Kind of like over in Pandora when they used to have, they don't have them anymore, I don't think, on the main menu, but the little pod burgers.
Yes.
Yeah, they were cheeseburgers, but they were in the little pods.
Yep.
So I think we're going to see, Satuli Canteen is still a huge hit, and I think we're going to see something very similar to that over in Galaxy's Edge, where you get the bowls.
Totally think that's going to be the case.
I've seen some of the food, and it's going to be definitely a different sort of, it's not going to be like he said. It's not going to be hamburgers and hot dogs.
Yeah, you're not walking into McDonald's. You're walking into places that have completely different food that you're not used to seeing anywhere else, and it won't be available anywhere else other than in Galaxy's Edge.
So those of you watching, if you have been researching the food, we want to know what kind of food you are looking forward to when it comes to Galaxy's Edge, and we'll see what you have to say.
It's exciting. Did you see where Roto's Roadsters? I can't remember what they're cooking, but they're going to be cooking it on an old pod engine.
I know.
I think that's hilarious. I look for it. I tell you, I look forward to the day that I get to meet one of the Imagineers that got to work on this. Because just all the fun you get to have. I mean, in general. I mean, whether you're working on Toy Story Land or Pandora World of Avatar, all of those. Can you be an Imagineer that just goes, hey guys, let's go have some fun? And in Star Wars, you have a little bit of history to work with, so, there's
That's true.
a gazillion different movies and 4,000
like
different...
a little bit of history.
Yeah, 4,000 different books, so...
a lot of history to work with.
Yep.
For sure. Yeah, no, I think that's really cool, the way that they're going to have that set up. We have a friend who is a podcaster who does specifically Star Wars podcasts, and I was listening to his podcast about some of the details of Galaxy's Edge, and that was one of the things that he seemed to be most excited about. I haven't personally talked to him about it, but all he kept talking about was, oh my gosh, I can actually have food that's been roasted over
a pod racer.
a pod racer. So I think that'll be pretty cool.
Every boy's dream right there.
And if you've been over into Hollywood Studios and you have looked at the model and you kind of get down towards, like the bird's eye view, it's not right, but if you get down and you kind of look through, there's actually, you could see where that was in the model.
Really?
See, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had not looked real close on it, so...
Yeah. So I tell you, this is, y'all, you have
the
really...
Ray's portion bread.
Oh, well, they have the Ray's portion bread? Oh, wait, he's laughing.
He's laughing.
I don't know what you're laughing about, Adam. This must be some kind of joke that I don't know about. But you made me lose my train of thought, Adam. So, what was I talking about? Bird's eye view, looking through the pod racer. I don't remember. Anyway, lost my train of thought. But, I was talking about how we have no idea really how immersive that is. Anybody out there watching been to Pandora? I would like to know if you give me a thumbs up if you've been to Pandora, because I would like to know who's been to Pandora World of Avatar, because I think that's what we're getting ready to experience, but we're taking it to the nth degree. I honestly, or better yet, Ray's, I get it, Adam. I get it. The rations.
Yes.
I get it. They better not ration my bread. That's all I'm saying.
They might have it as a snack. It's a little green bread.
So Harry Potter. I'm going to go over to the Shadowlands for a second.
You totally changed gears on me.
No, you are listening.
Okay, I missed that part.
I was talking about how immersive that this land is going to be.
Okay, yes.
And I said, how many of you been to Pandora? Well, if you think about the most immersive places that you can go as far as the theme park experience is concerned, Hogwarts and Hogsmeade are truly some of the most immersive places. Like, you are there.
Gotcha.
You are there. Particularly Diagon Alley. Hogsmeade was definitely... you definitely kind of feel like you're in Hogsmeade, but you're outside. But boy, once you go into Diagon Alley, man, and you see that dragon on top of Gringotts, and it breathes fire, and it's kind of closed in, and you really, really are like, oh, yeah, I read these books. This is what it's going to. Or I saw these movies. You really, yes, Adam, I went to Universal.
No, you didn't go to Universal. You didn't go to Universal. You went Universal. It's Star Wars. It's a whole universe.
So I think we're going to see that over in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, but I think it's going to be even better. Well, of course it's going to be better. It's Disney. You just can't get any better than the details there with Disney.
It has been extremely impressive. I'm going to have blue milk.
And yeah, there's like green milk.
There's green milk also. It's a citrus version of blue milk.
I don't know. I won't have either. I'll be honest with you.
It is not milk.
Is it taste like?
I don't know what it tastes like yet. I haven't tried it yet. It's not fair to ask me that. Because obviously, and like one of the Imagineers I was talking about said, listen, it's called blue milk because it's blue milk in Star Wars. True. But we're not going to turn around and hand you a glass of milk that can turn warm in the Florida summer in like 2.2 seconds. We're going to give you something else. It is not dairy. Okay. So you don't have to worry about that part of it. Yeah. So, but it is called a blue milk.
So going back to the droids, you can build your own droid.
You can. From the looks of it, everything I've seen so far, think of about like
it's gonna be like this big, like right.
It's going to be probably an 18 to 20 inch. They can't tell that size from there. Why don't we try an 18? Probably about 18 to 20 inches tall.
Can y'all not tell? Okay, so the size of an American Girl doll. That's my frame of reference. It's an 18-inch doll.
That's a fine reference. We'll say big figs for those of us that go and get the other toys instead. Okay. So what I'm intrigued with is how customizable they will be.
Can I get a BB-8?
I would assume so.
Will it follow me around?
That is yet to be determined.
Okay.
So
I want it to follow me around.
I'm sure it will, as long as you control you man the controls properly.
Oh, well, okay, whatever.
So you can hand me the controls. I'll make it follow you around.
Actually,
but they're supposed to be able to like communicate and talk with each other.
So when I was, what was the diameter and not the circumference, Adam, will be 12 inches.
Oh no.
So
we got off topic.
Yeah. So what I was thinking about was with the droids, and when I was listening to about how you can build a droid, it made me think about how detailed this is going to be. And I know it's not going to be as much as the people who actually make these they're not mock-ups, but they're actual droids that we see at the conventions we go to.
Oh, yes. It
won't be that detailed, but it's also not going to be,
it's not going to be that little guy, no.
It's not going to be this, because this is the Sphero,
which is cool, and that's
version,
probably,
and this is really cool.
That's probably where they're getting some of the technology from it, though, the ideas from it. They just scaled it up.
Right.
The guys that we see from the R2 builders, which is all the droid builders that are at comic conventions and things like that, they've just gone to a much larger scale of it, which, in order for me to be able to buy a full-scale one like that, at Disney would cost me probably in the upwards of $1,000+, and most people won't be able to do that.
The diameter of this is about 3 inches, by the way. Had to share that.
I see that.
All right, so let's talk about what's really important. We're sitting here geeking out over how awesome this land is going to be, but let's get down to the nitty gritty. You want to go, right?
You want to go to Disney World?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Labor Day weekend.
well, let's talk about Disneyland. Okay, first. So Disneyland, for you to be able to get into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland between May 31st and June 23rd, you actually are going to have a reservation. If you're staying on property, you will automatically be assigned a reservation. If you're staying off property at a Good Neighbor Hotel, then you are going to have to get a reservation. And of course, you have to purchase a ticket to get that reservation.
Okay.
This is a big deal. I mean, you're not going to get in without it. That's just the way it goes. Also, Disney's the Max Pass is not going to be up and running for Smuggler's Run. So, and it's also not going to be available for extra magic hours or morning magic hours out at Disneyland. Hence the reservations. And that's really important to know. And that's just from May 31st to June 23rd, which is a small window. But Disney can extend that. That's the news that we are getting as travel professionals straight from Disney on how they're working things. Oh, yes, John, I am so happy it's opening for you guys. And I'm hoping that Rise of the Resistance will be open for you guys when you go too.
Can you imagine if they're there the weekend it actually opens up too? And we're like, hey, you got to do video for us.
Oh, yes, you will have to, John. All right, so with that said, Walt Disney World opening is August 29th, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you do not have to have a reservation to go into this land.
Correct.
But there is no Fast Pass available. Correct. And of course, at any time, this land can reach capacity. It will be open for extra magic hours, though.
Yes.
So you're not actually guaranteed to get in.
I'm curious what capacity is for them.
Well, I have no idea. It's capacity for that land.
No, I understand that. I understand completely. But, I mean, is Star Wars Galaxy Edge going to have bouncers on the outside of it?
Oh, well, I don't know.
I just envision, some guys are standing there going, can't enter. Of course, they set up as bounty hunters. Bounty hunters can be there and go, no passage, and that works perfect for it.
True. And here's another thing to know. Guys, if you need a place to stay, which you do, and you should contact me if you need a place to stay and you get your tickets. Shameless plug there, middle of the Magic Travel. You definitely want to stay at Art of Animation or Pop Century or Caribbean Beach because all three of those have the new gondola. Lee Baker says the Gamorrean guards.
Okay. I'm good with the guards. I'm good with Stormtroop, although it's
Who are the Gamorrean guards?
It's the big green guys from Jabba's place.
Oh.
No, not Jabba's place. Oh. Yeah, Jabba. No. Lee, I apologize.
Lee, go ahead, fill me in. Educate me, please. Mm-hmm. I'm just a surface level Star Wars fangirl who likes to buy clothes from her universe.
Let me get you a picture of it real quick so you know who we're talking about. I know what they look like. I just also forgot exactly where.
Yep, Yeah. I saw the picture.
Okay, good.
I know what it is. All right, so you definitely want to stay at one of these Caribbean Beach, like I said, because they have the new Skyliner gondola system that's going to take you to Hollywood Studios. And I'm just saying, like, I could be completely wrong here. Totally out of my, like, wheelhouse of knowledge, but I've been to Disney a couple of times in the past month, and the gondola system is being tested. But it's only being tested going to Hollywood Studios right now. They've added in the cars, and it is just flying from Caribbean Beach to Hollywood Studios. So I'm wondering if they're going to be a little bit early on schedule, at least to Hollywood Studios, hopefully to maintain the crowd level. So stay at one of those places and contact me to book your travel, because I can definitely help you out with that. Plus, I'm going to be down there that first weekend to kind of give you a good idea. I plan on spending 2 days over there in the park. I'm not going to go anywhere else that weekend other than Hollywood Studios and doing some research.
So that weekend, I'll either be at Dragon Con selling comics or at Galaxy's Edge learning about Star Wars. So I can't go wrong that weekend.
That's right. That's right. And I gotta talk Tracy going over there with me.
That'd be good.
I'm like one of the few crazy people who'll get out there and.
What will be the easiest way from the toaster? Clearly, John has been hanging out with us too much.
All right. So let me just say really quick: the toaster is the Contemporary Resort. The Contemporary Resort is a deluxe resort that is next to the Magic Kingdom, and probably the easiest way to get from the toaster will be to take a bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bus system from the Contemporary over to Hollywood Studios is the best way to get there.
Of course, where you say the bus system, everybody goes, because everybody always rides the bus when you're at a value resort. Deluxe level hotels always have the front line for bus parking.
That's
it's really nice.
Yeah, you can definitely tell a difference.
So yeah, getting into Hollywood. To get into Hollywood, you're you're either coming in, once the Skyliner's done, you can come in via Skyliner.
From the Contemporary?
No. In general. Only ways to get into it.
Okay.
Is either via Skyliner, via boat, via minivan, or via bus. Or drive yourself.
You just left out, the only thing you left out is, we've talked about a train. You just left out a plane.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Yeah, you've done every form of transportation.
Well, Skyliners will be your planes here.
Yeah, there you go.
So we've got boats and cars and trains and airplanes now with Disney. This is hilarious.
Yeah, because, speaking of that, another great resort would be Yacht Beach Club and the Boardwalk Inn, because it's just a boat ride from
You're just
there.
a boat ride around the corner.
So
from
there's
it.
your deluxe accommodations. You can't go wrong getting over to Hollywood Studios that way. Dang, I should have booked over it.
Yeah, you love the beach.
Yeah.
You need to go revisit your booking.
Yeah, I need to think about that. Oh, so who wants to join me? Who's coming down Labor Day weekend with me? Anybody?
Me,
Anyone?
hopefully.
Besides Henry. I know Henry. I want Henry to have. Anybody who wants to come down? We can all just carpool together from Southeast Tennessee.
Hey, that's right. Y'all can all join us. We'll go with it.
It would be a lot of fun. I would love it if everybody joined us. Oh, Sarah's like, me! Sarah, come stay in the room with us. Fly on in. I know you can't carpool from Colorado.
That's a long carpool.
It is. That's very long. So that's really about it from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Because Adam wants me to go to Dragon Con with him and see it.
That's really about it. I do have a blog post that's going to go out this week with a little bit more detail. Just what you need to know as far as staying there for Star Wars opening.
Yes.
And, just some little details, some things that I think are important travel-wise. I won't do a detailed blog post on all of the lands. There's plenty of information out there on the internet. Lots of people have covered that. That's how I get all of my information. But if you have any specific questions, please feel free to contact us. We will do our best to answer those.
Yep.
So, with that said,
speaking of that, all right. So hold on. You talked about a blog post. How do we find the blog post?
www.disnerdslife.com.
All right. So you've got our blogs over on our website. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you have us here on Facebook, and hopefully, if you have not so far, you need to click on those little three buttons in the top corner. So you're left or right, I don't remember which one it is. And do
top right corner.
Okay. And turn around and say, I want to see all notifications whenever they go live, anytime they're going live.
Yes.
So follow us over there. Also, YouTube page. Follow us over on YouTube at Disnerds Life. Mm-hmm. We do post up videos over there that's exclusive to that area. It's a newer avenue for us, but that is an avenue we're also
working on
now. So there's that one, and that fills up our plate pretty much right there.
Yeah.
And we also take care of some things in Mickey's Backyard.
Yes, a little bit. Yeah, and so with that said, Middle of the Magic Travel is our sponsors, and you definitely need to visit them. There's a Disney fan page. There's a Disney fan page that is run by Middle of the Magic Travel. All you have to do is request an invite, but it's called Information and News from Mickey's Backyard, where you'll get all firsthand news about Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney, and the illustrious Aulani out in Hawaii. So if you want to join that page so you can join in on all the Disney talk with us, please let me know. I can get you in on that page too.
So, all right. Adam wants to skydive in. I missed that. How did I miss that, Adam? That's hilarious. You're not allowed to skydive in. I've checked on that. Sorry.
John says he'll take your place at DragonCon.
Uh-oh.
Henry's actually.
Uh-oh.
Henry's.
Sorry, Adam.
I'll just take your mom with me to Disney World.
Well, and Mom and your mom will happily both go also.
Yeah.
Except I don't think they'll go over to Galaxy's Edge with you.
Oh, your mom would.
My mom probably would. Your mom wouldn't.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
So I think that covers about everything.
Yeah.
Howard, that was a lot of fun. Let me tell you, there's so much stuff. Building your own drawers. Oh, actually, one of the places. So we talked about at the very, 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 very beginning. I picked on you about the Holocron. But over in the Den of Antiquities, one of the spots over there, that's probably the place that I'm most excited about going and seeing.
Really?
Yes, because I think it's going to have so many unique items that you never see anywhere else. It looks to be fun. So the Star Wars fan in me is excited to see what all they got over there.
Oh yeah, no, and I love it because, well, like you are definitely a Star Wars fan. We have friends that are Star Wars fans.
Yes, I'm a fan of it. I'm not a fanatic about it.
I mean,
I love the people that are the people that know all the droids, know all the names, know all the people, and all the everything. That know even the obscure little character that made a side appearance inside the bar one time and you never saw him again.
Right. And then there are people like, there's definitely going to be young people who are fairly new to the Star Wars universe.
Yes.
And I think everybody is going to be very happy in this one spot, no matter what their fandom is.
I think so too. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Or they may not even like Star Wars, and they become a Star Wars fan.
So all right. So I heard this from someone else with it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to share it over there also. This is very much gonna be based around the First Order and the Resistance.
Okay.
So if you are one of those people that have not seen any of them yet, my friend Ken comes to mind right now. You need to watch. The Force Awakens.
Oh, yes.
That's the one that if you're like I want to go because everyone else is going and I want to go down there, but I don't need to know everything else. Just watch the Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And that right there will give you enough information so that you're not walking around going, who are these people? Who is that people? Why are they in that outfit? Why are they on this?
So let's end on this note. What are you going to do and what's your reaction going to be when you walk through those gates or that opening into Galaxy's Edge and you're walking into Batu? I'm going to say it wrong. But anyway, and you see those black spires and then you are faced directly in front of you with a life-size Millennium Falcon. I'm going to be like, it's going to be like seeing Cinderella's castle for the first time.
Yeah. it will be for a lot of people. I mean, the very yes, because so many of us. 2 years ago at Star Wars Weekend in Orlando, they had a life-size TIE fighter on the premise over there, and the amount of people that I know that were just like, "This is the most amazing thing ever," and it was a TIE fighter, which is not the most elaborate ship from the series. So,
and we haven't even talked about Hondo.
Yeah, Hondo. Yeah, no, there's.
It's just gonna be awesome. So with that said,
we have more stuff to talk about next week, obviously.
Yes, we're gonna go ahead and get off here because we've already been on for 40 minutes, and we're trying to keep our shows fairly short.
We'll try to get
so
down
that
30
we don't
minutes,
bore
right,
you. But please give us a shout out and share out and make sure, like he said, that you tag in and make sure that you know that you're getting notifications when we go live or when we post things. And,
follow us on YouTube. Follow us here on Facebook. Share out. Let more people know about us. We're just a couple of nerds that enjoy Disney. And right now they're intertwining into two of my nerddoms at one time.
That's true.
So.
And listen, if you're looking for a place to work, Middle of the Magic Travel, I believe, is out there looking for agents to join in on one of the best agencies that's out there. It is a wonderful group of people to work with. I can speak from experience. So feel free to contact middleofthemagictravel.com about that. So with that said, we will see you next Sunday. Yes?
Next Sunday. I
Yes.
should be back in time for that.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay. Next Sunday, we should be here back, provided that our schedules do just fine with that, at 9 o'clock.
That's right. Walt Disney World time.
Y'all have a fantastic week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.